Hey, I'm Walter. I'm one of the senior engineers with the IPS Signature Development Team. Today is Tuesday, May 14th, 2013, and it is Microsoft Bulletin Update Day. This month, Microsoft is releasing 10 bulletins that cover 33 individual CVEs. 2 of those bulletins carry a critical rating. The remaining 8 are rated important. Let's take a look at that first one, which is MS13-037. This is a cumulative security update for IE. This addresses 11 different CVEs. 10 of those CVEs are rated critical. Here, an attacker really could exploit this simply by getting a user to view a malicious website. There are some workarounds listed in the bulletin, and those are setting the local and intranet security settings to high, and also disabling ActiveX controls and scripting, or at least setting prompt on run on those. There are impacts to using those workarounds where some sites might not work correctly, and in those cases you'll want to add those sites to your trusted site list. Next bulletin, MS13-038, also a security update for IE. This addresses 1 critically rated CVE. This is that IE8 0-day that dropped a few days ago. Microsoft did release a fix-it solution. That was CVE 2013-1347, the MS-HTML shim workaround. You don't need to undo the workaround to install the update, but after installing the update, you may want to go ahead and undo the workaround, okay? After installing the update. The next bulletin, MS13-039, this one's rated important. Don't let that fool you though, especially if you're running Windows 2012 Server. Right? This is the vulnerability in http.sys, which could allow for a denial of service. Here, an attacker simply would send specially crafted HTTP packets to a Windows 2012 server. More specifically, they'd be sending crafted HTTP headers to a Windows 2012 server. So if you're running Windows 2012 Server, make sure you get this one rolled out. Then bulletin MS13-040. These are the vulnerabilities in .NET Framework. This one addresses 2 different CVEs. Here, .NET Framework fails to properly validate the signature of a crafted XML file. Right? So an attacker could modify contents of an XML file without invalidating the signature. One of the 2 CVEs addressed in this bulletin, specifically CVE 2013-1337, has been publicly disclosed. Next bulletin, MS13-041, the vulnerability in link, which could allow for remote code execution. Here, an attacker could share specially crafted content like a file or a program as a presentation in link or communicator, and then convince a user to accept the invitation to view or share the presentable content. MS13-042, this one's also rated important. Vulnerabilities in Microsoft Publisher, which could allow for remote code execution. This one actually addresses 11 different CVEs. Could allow for remote code execution if the user were to open a specially crafted Publisher file in an affected version of Microsoft Publisher. If you're using Publisher, you definitely want to make sure you get this one updated, and also be wary of files from untrusted sources or unknown people. MS13-043, this is the vulnerability in Microsoft Word, could allow for remote code execution. Here the user would simply have to open a specially crafted file or preview a specially crafted email in an affected version of Office software. MS13-044, vulnerability in Visio, which could allow for information disclosure. Here the user just has to open a specially crafted Visio file. So again, be wary of files from untrusted sources or unknown sources. MS13-045, the vulnerabilities in Windows Essential. This could allow for information disclosure if a user opens Writer using a specially crafted URL. And then lastly, MS13-046, vulnerabilities in kernel mode drivers that could allow for an elevation of privilege. Here the attacker would need to log onto the system and run a specially crafted application. That does it for this month. Again, MS13-037 and MS13-038, both of which are rated critical. They're security updates for IE. Make sure you get that stuff rolled out. And if you are running Windows 2012 Server, make sure you roll out MS13-039. All right, that does it for this month, and we'll see you next time.